From a very young age, I loved to daydream. It seemed like the children around me were always twirling like tornadoes, where I was perfectly content laying down on the ground, looking into the sky, thinking about every aspect of my life. What I would do when I grew up, what my next birthday party would be like. Would I ever meet Nick Carter, and would he fall in love with me? This daydreamer mentality translated to other parts of my life. When I became interested in something such as a hobby, I would think about it constantly, build a fantasy around it, and desperately wanted to be profoundly good at it. I remember when I was about 8 years old, I loved singing. I signed up for every talent show, every play, every choir that was at my school that they offered. I would advocate for solos, even when the part of the play that I was in didn't have solos. I would somehow convince the teacher to give me one. I started a music club, and that lasted all of 2 meetings, and I was sure I was going to be the next Celine Dion, the Celine Dion of Howick, Quebec. I did this for many interests throughout my life. I loved to cook as a teenager, so in my mind, without question, I was going to go to culinary school and business school at the same time because I was an ambitious bitch. And then I was going to open the successful restaurant, and inevitably it would be picked up for a TV show on a cooking network. I watched hours of cooking shows to prepare, and I pretended I was on a cooking show in my parents' kitchen whenever I could while I was making like toast. In my 20s, I wanted to be the next Annie Leibovitz. I would carry around a XLR around my neck all the time, and I fantasize about taking photos of these glamorous actors and leading a glamorous life of the photographer, or whatever the hell that meant. I would take photos of nothing. Somewhere in my possessions, there's a hard drive of thousands of photos I took of unfocused rocks and landscapes. I love them, every single one of these photos, and I will never delete them ever. I am still a dreamer, even though being a dreamer have left me disappointed and heartbroken at times. Now that I'm older, I have zero regrets. Being a dreamer has led me to being passionate and finding things that drive me. It helped me find my fire. So, welcome to House of Stone. Hi. Oh my God. We're here.
We're here. We're doing it.
We're doing it. You are episode 1, technically.
Okay.
Yes,
episode
we
0
did. Episode 0 was a couple days ago, and I was a manic person during that episode and a crazy person, and we will try not to be that today.
Okay. I'll wrangle you in as needed.
Love that idea. Love that a lot. So you are Michelle Dominique.
That's
you are
me.
a stand-up comedian and producer extraordinaire. Extraordinaire. I gotta speak better. Wow, extraordinary.
I am also extraordinary.
This is
I'm a producer extraordinaire, and also I'm extraordinary.
You are extraordinary. You are.
Perfect.
I love your stand-up. Your
Thank you.
storytelling style is really captivating, and
Thank you.
You co-produce a show called Comedy Confessional, and most importantly, you co-produce the show Comedy on Demand,
Comedy
which is
on Demand.
what I'm part of as well.
Yeah, that's my main thing, I would say. Like, I'm a Comedy and Confessional. We haven't picked it up again, but probably end of summer we will do that again.
Yeah. Am I forgetting anything else? You want anything else? Promote anything else while you're on here?
No, actually, I was gonna.
How people can find you. You don't want anyone to find you.
Don't find me. I'll find you.
That's the exact response that I thought you were gonna say. When I realized I wanted you as one of my first guests, I immediately wrote that monologue or story time.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. What does that mean about what you think about me?
Well, it's just, I think of you as a dreamer.
Really?
You have, I mean, I've known you for a couple years now. I consider you one of my best friends.
Oh, yeah.
And you've had 17 trillion lives. You go on so many adventures. So I just see you as a dreamer. Like, first off, a couple years ago when we started Lawn Last or Comedy on Demand, like I came with you with this like idea, and you were just like, yes, and you were on board for the adventure.
Yeah, we were good for each other for that. I think we made that work well.
Yeah, so I definitely see you as this dreamer, or like,
wow, you know, I've never thought of myself that way, so that's interesting. No, not at all. I feel like I'm in a free fall and things just happen.
I mean, but then you meticulously plan things
seem to
as
come
well.
Together. I hit the right branches on the way down.
Yeah. So I definitely, you, like I brought up, like you've had like 7 different lives. It seems like 7 billion different lives.
7 billion is a big leap from 7.
Yeah. Do you like when you were a kid, like you got into all, like I have a list here.
Okay.
You
made a list of things that I've done?
Yeah, that you've done. Yes,
awesome.
I wrote a list.
Can you send that to me later?
A planner. It's a creepy list. I'm like, she's done all of these things.
Okay, so what have I done?
You've been in competitive swimming.
Yeah, I swam competitively as a child.
Yeah, you were an Irish dancer.
That's come out recently that I was that. I don't think I've told anyone before.
I learned that the other day, and I was like, what the actual, like, that is so, I don't know if anyone's ever seen Irish dancing, but
it's beautiful.
It's beautiful, but then the little, like, if you've ever seen like a talent show with the little tiny children and the weird hair, they're just like these.
The weird hair, those
they have
curly
these, like,
wigs,
these wigs on.
They want the bounce. They want the, they want that real intense bounce that you just don't get naturally.
And that's weird. It's so weird. The whole, like, I'm gonna go on a tangent about.
I love it.
About Irish
anymore,
dancing. It is very weird. I mean, like Michael Flatley, yes, beautiful,
wonderful showman.
Wonderful showman.
He can inspire us all.
And he inspired you.
He inspired me. I literally watch Michael Flatley in secret multiple times a week.
That's so weird.
It's kind of,
but I love it.
Thing, yeah,
I love it. So when you were a kid, you got into that, and no, I have to go back to it. It's a weird thing for all of these kids to have these like bouncy. Curly hair.
It's not just kids. Like they do it with adults too.
Pleated dresses that don't move much.
Like it's like kind of like a. I hate describing this. It's like a stiff bodice.
A stiffed bodice.
But then the part, like the bottom part goes out.
Yeah.
But it's also like. Yeah, it doesn't move. It doesn't flow. Like
and
it's
like embroidered all beautifully,
it's all colorful and shit. Yeah,
and like I remember my friend as a kid was into it and spent so much money on these dresses and like I don't know,
you
like
could rent them when you did shows and competitions, but you didn't. You know, you prefer to have ones that you own.
Oh my gosh, that's so. Anyways, and then they dance around like their legs are independent from their body. It's like it's all such a weird. Anyways, you got into that as a kid.
Yeah, it was.
How many years did you do it?
Oh God, 3 or 4 maybe.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure. I don't remember when I quit. I don't remember why I quit. I had so much fun.
Okay. Did you did you do competitions and stuff like that?
Yeah, I did competitions.
Recitals.
Yeah, I guess so. We did shows and stuff as well, and we'd do like Christmas shows and shit. It was good.
Okay.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah.
I was actually, you know what? I routinely think about doing it again.
Yeah.
And then I look it up, and apparently there's no school for adults.
That's sad.
You either have to be in it already, or you're too late.
That's so sad. In it already, or too late.
Like if you did it when you were a kid, and then as you got older, like you would. You know, you'd be in that community, and so you'd kind of be exposed to like whatever was available to like adult Irish dancers.
Yeah.
But if you don't know how to, like, I don't know how to do it anymore. So it's like if I started now, there's nothing for me unless I want to open a school.
Yeah. I mean, often these things are very children oriented.
Yeah, definitely.
These classes, especially same with like taking piano class or whatever.
Oh no!
Oh my god! Exactly. I remember.
Yeah, it's like this golden one right there on the right or whatever. Yeah, that's the one that looks the most like everything I've ever seen.
It is. But then people would do it naturally. There's like a
you could do it naturally,
naturally. And I remember my friend Taryn Petrie. Maybe she's listening to this. I don't know. She's actually been very friendly online lately. Like when I was a kid. she was one of my best friends, and then like when we got older, I was like, she's kind of a bitch. Hi, Taryn.
Hi, Taryn.
But now she's very nice. She's like a family and kids. And whatever.
Okay. She settled down a little bit. She calmed down.
I no longer think
her
you're
bitch temper.
Yeah, I no longer think you're a bitch, Taryn.
Let's tag her.
Yeah, we'll tag her.
Yeah.
She can share this among her parent
kids
friends
or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
Mommy,
but
you
like
were a
Taryn
bitch.
used to like do it naturally, and like
You'd be
she would
such a
like
waste of
do
time.
these spiral thingies that
Yeah.
like were it's a weird
It's a whole thing. I don't
it's a-
really know what this. I don't know why you need to have the curly hair. You don't need to. Like
Yeah.
you don't need to.
yeah.
It does seem to be the norm, and I
Okay.
couldn't tell you why. I haven't
Okay.
looked into it.
If you did get into it, would
Yeah.
you do curly hair exactly like that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. You would
If
fully
I was
commit.
in it, I'd be in it to win it, baby. I would stop at nothing.
That's exactly. That's the theme of today. We're dreamers. We
It's true,
commit
eh?
to
It's true.
things. I will
We
not.
try.
They were like, yeah. Anyways,
I'll let you know if I. Well, you have to have me back on the podcast if I get the hair and I do the
Yes.
shows. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
I'll come in the outfit.
I'll
Like,
come to your recitals. Is that what you got?
I don't
All your
even know.
competitions.
But only if you let
I
me
will
dance and you can film it. I want you to put my dancing on the podcast.
Okay. Yes, we'll clear this table and then we'll dance.
I'll do with the hard shoes. I'll do here, so it's like you can.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be, and we'll do
Okay.
like a cappella style, but no
It'll-
music,
it'll be
just
good.
me
We'll
and the
break
taps.
this table. It'll be our last episode ever. We'll
Yeah.
break this table
I like
and then
that.
leave the studio
Yep.
and then never return.
Never return. Oh, God. And then delete the
Exactly.
footage and then kill me.
Exactly. You also did competitive swimming, like I said.
Yeah.
You went to Everest.
I did do that. Yeah.
Yes.
That was a couple of years ago.
That was a couple of years ago. What prompted you to go to Everest?
I don't really know. I would never have gone personally. My sister was going on this big trip, and so she was going to be stopping, like making a bunch of major stops, kind of all around the world, mostly like not North America, but like everywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was going to do the Everest thing, and so she wanted to do it together.
Mm-hmm.
And I was coming out of like a not good time or whatever, so I was kind of like for the first time feeling like I could do something. So it felt like, you know, why not that? Why not fucking fly to the Himalayas? I had never been on a plane before, so my first flight was like 18 hours. and I got there, and I'd never really been hiking before either. So then
Your
we get
first
there.
road trip was this summer, and that was 3 months.
Yes, that's
You
accurate.
don't.
I don't hold back. My first drug experience was cocaine, so I all or nothing,
We're
baby.
all in. We're all in. I love it.
Yeah, I like extreme things. I think because I get bored.
Yeah. No, it leads to awesome adventures.
It sure does.
And good stories. You have some good comedy material from some of these things. Sometimes. Let's talk a bit about comedy. What got you into it?
I don't know why I don't have it. I never know any of the answers to the questions that people ask me. I don't. So again, that would have been 2018. So that was before I went to Everest. So that was really like the difficult period or whatever.
Yeah.
That really like starting comedy really was like the first thing that I did outside of that period of my life.
Okay.
So it was like it was a lot to overcome just because I was like still unwell basically.
Yeah.
But I knew that I had to like do something. And I studied theater, and that's that. So I was performing, you know, before. And I knew I didn't really want to get back into that. And I did, I think, you know what it was? As I'm saying it, I'm remembering it. I watched a Chris D'Elia special, and I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And then, I think I just like, you know, people tell you you're funny often enough, and you're like, well, maybe I am funny. And then you give it a go. So I did my first show at the end of August in 2018. And actually, the week before, I had
I did my first show in August, too.
Really?
I started in that summer as well.
Wow, guys. Oh my, here we are.
See, I did it the year before, exactly in August.
Oh,
That's
wow.
crazy.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
generation of miracles.
Yeah. The greatest generation.
The greatest. Yeah. We are the greatest. Mark my words.
Yeah.
No, we're not.
Delete that part.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. So that's that. I guess that's why I started.
Okay.
And then
what?
you know, you just
Where
meet a
did
bunch
you
of
perform
people.
for the first time?
Comedy Nest.
Same.
And the
Same,
week
right?
before.
Same.
No, gang, bro.
Gang, gang.
That's the trap. That's the comedy trap.
So I actually had been scheduled the week before to do an open mic there. And then I got way too nervous and I was like, I cannot do it. So I canceled it. But then I was like, I'll reschedule for next week. And I have to do it because if I cancel again, they won't put me on a third time.
Yeah.
So I showed up the next week and I felt, I don't even remember. I blacked out up there. Like, I don't even know what the fuck happened up there.
Yeah. I mean, same for me. Like when I remember going on stage.
Yeah.
I remember it not being funny. I remember being on stage being like, people aren't laughing when I thought they were gonna laugh.
Yep.
But then I got off stage like loving that feeling and just wanting to do it again.
Yeah. Okay.
100%. And
I think there's a huge amount of relief after your first set that maybe is like you interpret that as like that went, not that it went well, but you feel good because you feel relieved, not because you actually had a good time. Yeah. But then you do that enough and eventually you're like, I actually do have a good time.
That's fair enough. That's maybe what I was feeling, but I don't interpret my feelings very accurately. I was just like, that was the best time ever because this is what I'm feeling right now. Really good. But really, I'm just extreme relief. Yeah.
Exactly. That's my theory anyway.
Yeah. I remember, do you remember the day leading up to your first show?
Yeah.
I remember sitting on my couch looking straight at like the wall and just like,
oh yeah,
couldn't just like completely, just so nervous,
in pain practically. Yeah, how much I didn't want to do it, but
and I was doing it for the first time ever with Fernando. So like, I did. So I had that support there. So like I knew like we could like. So I got there early. There used to be a bar next door, the sports bar.
Did they close that bar?
They closed that bar. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That place was fucking chaotic.
That place was gross, bro.
Yeah, it was so gross. But like Fernando and I used to like go on dates there. Like,
wow, no wonder you broke up.
Yeah, that was what. Yeah.
Date night. Let's play some air hockey.
We would never play
sticky table. Yeah.
We would never play any game. We never played any
Why
of
did
the
you
game.
go there then?
It was cheap beer. I think that was cheap beer, and we used to like going to the Comedy Nest. Like, so we would meet there. He would come there after work. I would meet him, and then we would go see a show at the Comedy Nest. Like,
so it was for the Nest.
Yeah,
that you would go.
Yeah,
okay,
basically. Sure. But anyways, but yeah, I remember like just like staring at the wall blankly. Like,
oh my god, yeah,
it was just
in
so
a daze,
so
like,
nervous, and but because I was doing it with someone, it helped a lot. Anyway, what was your second set? Was it at the Nest too?
No, it was at Blue Dog.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was Jason Sallin hosting, and then Sarah Quinn was there, and Harrison was there. Yeah, and I did a totally different set the second time. So the first one, I just never did the first one again, I guess.
Oh,
I feel like they did that, where they planned one thing for the first show. Mm-hmm. And then like you just change so drastically, so quickly.
Yeah, I never once did that set ever again. Yeah. And like I don't even remember. I remember having a joke about my father being deaf and making fun of his disability, which is not nice. But then not incorporating that, like, oh, I have hearing loss too.
So you just seem
yeah. I should have led with like I have this. My father does, like, just like
so
that I'm on the same level.
You're not just making fun of a disabled man.
I was making fun of my disabled father.
Oh gosh.
But that was a bad move. Like I know better now.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but like so I know the I don't know the topic that I was talking about, but I don't remember the jokes or the cadence or anything.
Oh yeah. I don't. It's all a big black.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's okay.
I don't remember
it. Yeah, but that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, I don't. It's
the second set. Did you do those jokes for a while?
Not even the second set. Never. That one I really never did again.
Oh, really?
It actually went well.
Oh,
I just it went well because I fucked it all up, and then I was just like, you know what? And then I just started talking. Mm-hmm. And it was fun because it was a small little crowd and everyone was like having a good time. Yeah. But I couldn't recreate it because I didn't write it down. I didn't know what I was saying. I just went off script. So I wouldn't even know. I don't even know what I said. Yeah, that was fun though. My parents were there at Blue Dog. My mom and my dad.
Are you serious?
At Blue Dog Motel. What is it called?
Model.
Oh.
Is that what it's called? Blue Dog?
Blue Dog Hotel, I think.
Hotel?
Or it's just called the Blue Dog now, I think, maybe.
Is it?
Yeah.
Was it called? Okay. Anyway,
I don't know.
Ugh,
I think the
that
logo
place.
still has motel in it, but
it must. Yeah, because I didn't take that
maybe
thing
not.
down.
It's a barber shop and a bar. There's nothing motel
Yeah,
about
sometimes
it.
I walk by that place around like 7. People are still cutting hair. I'm like, why does this
I'm disgusted
exist?
by that. I'm like,
Why is this? There's
Put up like a wall between that and the beverages, please.
and then for a while they were doing shows from where they cut hair.
That
which
was not a good because then nobody could come in and out.
I know, I know that. There was no lighting.
Yeah, and you
Dark.
couldn't come out. You couldn't come in and out without interrupting the show. It was
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah, I don't know what I think it was the transition. I don't know why we had to do it this way.
Yeah.
But I mean, I love doing sets there. It's fine. Like they were doing them outside. They were doing them outside. Then we couldn't do them outside because of a noise complaint.
On
So
Saint-Laurent.
On Saint-Laurent,
Downtown
yeah.
Wow.
Montreal.
And then
Jeez,
we
move,
moved it
bitch.
inside. We just closed the windows, but just turned around.
That is so
180.
weird.
180.
So
just
strange.
turned around and then performed that way. But we have a legit. They have
In the back.
legit
Yeah, it's a
stage
stage set
in
up
the
for
back.
it.
In the back, but like
My
for some
gosh.
reason they had to do
Who the
the.
hell complained about noise? It is
I
like the
don't know.
busiest street in the country.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's more condos there now.
Fuck 'em.
I don't know. I mean,
Fuck you.
apparently someone called the cops a couple times.
Who the fuck is such? Oh my god.
I know.
But I would never live on that street. I wouldn't. I mean, I if I lived on that street, I'd be calling the cops every 5 minutes. Get this shit under control.
You're like,
I would turn that place into like a residential area. Like that'd become a suburb. It's gonna be a suburb when I'm finished with it.
yeah. I remember
Yeah.
the first time I ever saw you.
Like just physically or like on stage? It's like socially.
Like as
You saw my form, my physical form?
I saw you. You weren't performing, but I saw you for the first time ever. Yes. And I knew for some reason knew that you were like you had started comedy.
Okay.
I don't know how, but I was too shy to talk to you.
Really?
100%.
Why?
I was at the Wiggle Room and you came to watch.
I came to. Oh yeah, because fucking
Yeah.
he who will not be named told me I had to come watch the show if I wanted to be on.
Mm-hmm.
So then I went and watched, and I was fucking bored out of my mind.
So I was on that show, the show that she was bored out of her mind.
It's not you. You know it's not you.
I know.
I was there alone watching.
You were there alone watching.
Weird, okay.
And
And you
then
saw
I
me.
saw you a few other times, and then I
Okay.
saw you perform at the Nest for the first time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That was. All right. I don't know when that would.
It was probably like, I don't know, September
Sure.
or October or whatever.
I don't know my first memory of you. I feel like I met everyone kind of around the same time, and like
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to say for sure
Yeah.
when or how.
Yeah.
You know.
There's some comedians that I remember like the exact like.
I remember meeting Ben. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I remember meeting Ben for the
Yeah.
first time too. Anyways, I remember seeing you for
Yeah.
the first time, but actually speaking to you at the Comedy Nest.
Yeah.
And I think you were talking to Vlad, and then I like interrupt. I didn't know if I interrupted you, but
I
like
don't
we
remember.
we had our first little
Okay.
exchange or
Okay.
something like that.
Okay. It's
Yeah.
funny because as you were saying this, I was thinking about when's the first time I met Vlad.
Mm-hmm.
And my first memory of talking to Vlad would have been at Honey Martin because he was on a show that Ben and I were doing there.
Yeah.
And him and I talked a lot that night. And I knew that we'd met before, but I didn't remember when. And he always said that we'd met at the Nest. So it could have been that you
Yeah.
met or whatever. We talked for the first time, the same time that I talked to Vlad for the first time. Who knows?
It's fine. It's fine.
It
I feel
is
like
fine.
the exchange that you had with the exchange you were having with Vlad seemed like an exchange you had like you were friendly at that
Okay,
point.
so maybe it
I
was
don't
later
know.
on
I don't
then,
know.
yeah.
When I first started doing comedy,
Yeah.
and for the first, I'm gonna say 4 years, I was so unfriendly.
Really?
Unintentionally. I was just, now I'm not at all. I was so intimidated by everyone I met in the scene.
That's fair.
I
feel that way.
was so like, I probably still like, I don't know, probably never got close to some comedians just because like I was so like nervous talking to them
for 4 years.
For 4 years.
Damn.
And remember when I started doing comedy, like Fernando used to always be like, go mingle.
That's the whole thing. You gotta force yourself to meet people.
You have to go like say hello and like that's why like I kind of overcompensate when I like see new comedians on the scene. I'm like, hello. Like,
aggressively friendly.
Like I've been doing this is what you need to know. Like I'm super like friendly because like I don't know, I was so intimidated and like
I remember when I started, it was the same thing where part of it was like, you know, showing up and going on stage, but then the other thing that I thought was important was like I have to talk to people even if I don't feel comfortable. Like I have to, there's only one way through this and like you just got to do it. And you can't, if you don't, you know, mingle with the community, you're not going to be, you're going to be on the outs and you're not going to get opportunities. So it's a part of it. And it's like, it's almost as difficult as like getting on stage, you know, or as stressful because it's like this whole thing that you have to fucking But you know, you get through it, and now here we are, big group of fun or whatever.
Big group of fun.
Big problems.
So, what inspired you most in your writing with like comedy?
I don't know. I go for like walks and stuff, and I just like my chair keeps rolling away. Just think about life. Sometimes I just think about whatever things that have happened. And so then from there, like anything that makes me laugh, I'll just like take notes about it. Yeah. And then at one point I'll circle back to those notes and then if I sit with them and I kind of just spend time thinking about them, like your mind just kind of goes off and then, you know, you write from reality or you write from just silliness in your brain, I guess. So I would say it's largely like true events that inspire my own writing. I don't typically make things up.
Okay, that's cool. I mean, a lot of my comedy is like autobiographical. Too.
I think a lot of people
I think so too. And then like it kind of like goes off on like different weird tangents. That, like at the end of like this wasn't even reality or something like that.
For sure.
But like mine tend to like stay to like my real life, I guess. What's the most recent thing that you took note on?
Oh my fucking God. Oh, I have a joke about how I didn't go to Idaho because somebody asked me if I was going to, they were like, where are you going? And I listed the states. This is not funny at all. And this is why I haven't done it on stage. She's like, I listed the states. And then she was like, oh my God, you're not going to Idaho? Like, why aren't you going to Idaho? Which first of all, what?
Because Idaho
I don't care about Idaho.
It's like the tourist attraction of the U.S. of A.
Oh, I know. She's like, it's the best kept secret. I'm like, I don't fucking think it is.
You go to the U.S., you go to Idaho.
That's it. It was like, how you're going to California, but you're not going to Idaho? Like, yeah. But you know what? I actually did go to Idaho. It's quite nice.
What was in Idaho?
Potatoes. It's visually nice.
This is what we need to go.
I didn't even stop the car in Idaho, but I drove through Idaho, and it was just visually, it was nice. It wasn't nearly as nice as every other state, but you know, it was not.
It wasn't okay.
It was all right.
Okay.
Wouldn't go back.
Not for one second.
No, wouldn't go back.
The funniest thing that you said to me about your trip was like on the way you saw an advertisement about like hit by a truck.
Oh my God. Yeah, so they have injury lawyers in the States, which is not something that we do in Canada or in Quebec anyway. Yeah. So there's these billboards everywhere with like these weird gimmicky kind of things to try and get you to call this injury lawyer, like, you know, and people can sue everybody for everything. It's fucking insane over there. And one of the ones that I kept seeing was this fucking doofus on a big billboard, and he has his arms crossed and he's just like looking all serious, and the sentence next to him is, hit by a truck, call Jeff.
Oh my God. I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming because I heard it. I heard it before. I knew it was coming.
Oh my god!
But that legitimately is the funniest thing ever. Hit by a truck, call Jeff. Not his last name.
No,
Because-
nothing. And then just the
no.
phone number. Just call Jeff.
Call Jeff. 1-800-JEFF.
I would love to call Jeff. You know, see
Yeah.
what Jeff's about.
See what it is.
How does one resolve
Did
that?
you take a photo of this?
I do. I have
Okay,
a
we
couple.
could call. You should call that number.
I could call Jeff.
and see the theatrics that come from.
I'd
Jeff.
love to just like go in with a big story about how I was hit by a truck and like
Oh my
see
God.
what he says. You know,
We can do it on
what
the
can
podcast.
you do about this? We can. Well, we can't
we
do it.
don't-
I don't know if Jeff's up right now.
You'll
but
come back. We'll
when I
come
come back, we'll plan it. I'll have the number ready.
Yeah, we'll have a whole story planned.
Oh,
And-
another one I saw. This one was. I'm sorry, just to cut you off.
It's okay.
There was the phone number. So it was a DUI lawyer, which is my kind of lawyer. And so the number was 1-800 DUI hero.
DUI hero.
Like that's what it said. Call your hero. 1-800 DUI hero.
DUI hero.
Yep. And I
He's
said
my
that to
hero.
my lawyer.
Like I drove drunk,
Yep. And now
but
here
and
you
this
are
person is
saving
my
me.
hero. That imagine the infomercial for that.
I
Just-
can't.
just
It just feels so wildly inappropriate.
Just
I'm your hero,
Yeah.
saving you from your poor decisions, your reckless, dangerous behavior.
yes, yeah. I drank 7 vodka whiskeys or vodka whiskeys.
Jesus, you go hard. Vodka whiskey.
and then I got into my truck, and then I hit
Jeff.
Jeff.
Who does he call? Who does Jeff call?
I don't
If
know.
Jeff gets hit by a truck, does he call? Does he call the DUI hero?
Yeah,
Oh,
so this guy
man.
hits Jeff, and then this hero swoops in
Saves the day.
and saves the day.
Yep.
Yeah. I wonder how we got the hero. Like, he's like,
It feels
do you-
so inappropriate.
come up with that name? Like, as a
DUI
lawyer. He's a
hero.
lawyer. He's
Yeah.
he took the bar.
Yeah.
He
Yep.
got educated. He went to university. And he's like, you know what? My company, 1-800 DUI hero. Like this brain.
It's the
His brain.
but I think it works in the States.
I think
they
so.
like that.
I mean, it's catchy. I mean, maybe when
If I saw that,
I'm gonna call him.
I
if
would not call. That's the person I wouldn't call because I'd be like, you know what, you're a fucking idiot. So I don't respect you already, and I would never call you. I would never like. And the call Jeff one too. I'm like, I'd never call. I would never take you seriously.
Yeah.
If I was in real legal trouble,
Yeah.
I would never call you. But I think in the States, like just it's a totally different. Just like marketing in general, they respond to different things. I think that we don't have the same. Like if you saw that in Quebec, it would be cringy and weird. We'd be like,
yeah.
that doesn't make sense here.
It,
Yeah.
would sound, it would sound illegal. Like that's
It would,
like
like a scam of some kind.
it's like you need to get away with killing someone. Call Greg. you know?
Exactly. It would be like, okay, something's wrong.
Yeah.
I won't be calling him.
No,
I'll be
not
calling the
at all.
police and then sending
Yeah.
them to Craig.
Yeah. I mean, people are different in the States. They just are.
I mean,
They're
it's
just
very similar and very different, and
Yeah.
you really feel that when you're there.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of the States and
Yes.
adventures and stuff like that, we went to Austin together, which
We
was
did go to
super
Austin. That
cool.
was fun.
You were in Texas at a camel farm.
Yeah.
A camel farm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Nothing strange about that.
No.
Nothing.
No.
We don't have to even talk about it.
I think that's like the most
That's
normal
a legit,
thing. Yeah.
the most normal thing.
Yeah. I mean, you guys have been, right?
Yeah, we
You've been to camel
I
farm.
mean, I came from a camel farm
Okay. Yeah. Classic.
to the studio,
yeah, of course. Yeah.
just seeing
Yep.
my camel.
Just going to visit the camels
Yeah,
for a
yeah,
month.
yeah,
The old month in Texas that we all do, right?
yeah. We all do that. It's
normal.
it's you have to be a
Yeah.
human being is to be.
If you haven't done it yet, I mean, don't call Jeff.
Yeah, but I remember you telling me that you were going to a camel farm, and I think like I probably have a screenshot of it because I was just legitimately I read it and I was like, seems right.
Yeah, you know what?
You know what? Like I don't question things anymore when it comes. Like I don't know. It's just like Michelle would do this. Michelle is doing this. Like, it doesn't like.
That's awesome. That that makes me feel good.
Yeah, you're just you go, you do adventures, and you like have these experiences, and you sign up for like it's just it's inspiring, honestly.
Thank you.
My brain would never go to be like, you know what I want to do. Mm-hmm. Any of that. I wouldn't even look like this was on a website for like farm exchanges or something.
Yeah, like a work exchange thing for farms around the world.
I would never. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew. I knew I wanted to do that. To like go to a farm and kind of live and work there for a bit.
Yeah.
And I wanted to. A lot of those farms that are available for that, like that they have their farm listed on the website. Mm-hmm. A lot of them are kind of produce oriented. Which is fine. It's just not what I was super interested in. So I wanted to find ones that were more kind of animal centered. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to be in Texas or Tennessee or one of the southern states, specifically one of those two. Yeah. And so the camel thing was there, and I was like, well, I can't say no to that.
Yeah.
So
it definitely stands out.
It does stand out, yeah. And it was the best time of my life. So I want to go back hopefully next spring. So
tell us about it. What was so great about it?
I don't even know. The camels are fucking enormous. Yeah. Like I don't know what I thought. I mean, I guess I don't think I've ever seen a camel before, so I didn't know what I thought. But I would have thought they were kind of like livestock and other farm animals. But they have really like very like they each have very individual personalities. They're very different from each other. They're super intelligent and like present and kind of. Yeah, they're really weird, but they're enormous. And like there was one that was like almost 2,000 pounds. I'm like, you're just fucking standing like you're. And they do this thing where when they. Like a greeting is like they come up to you really fucking close. And again, you're looking at a dinosaur essentially who's approaching you and you don't have any idea what it's coming at you for. Yeah. And it puts its face like right up in your face and then it exhales, like it breathes onto you. And the first time it happened, I was like, am I being threatened right now? Like, what's the next part of this? Like, how do I bow out of this fucking duel that I'm in right now?
The next part is that it like bites your head.
That's the thing. And then it absorbs your soul and you become the hump. That's what the hump is. It's a human being.
Human soul.
The most recent victim. Exactly. Yeah. So
that's why they're at this work exchange. They have to keep feeding. They have to keep feeding the camel soul, and then they bury the body. No, this has gotten really dark.
So they breathe out, like they exhale onto your fucking face. And at first I was scared, but then I asked Doug, the guy who lives there, or Trish, one of them. I asked them, what the fuck is that about? Because it seems to keep happening. Oh my God. They keep doing the thing where I think I'm gonna die. And then they were like, yeah, it's like a normal kind of way to say hello, essentially. So they breathe in, and then the idea is you're supposed to breathe back onto their face. So they come up and they breathe out, and then you have to breathe, and you exchange air, essentially, and then that's your hello. Oh, wow. And it's actually, by the end, I was like, I can't get enough of this. Oh. Get over here and give me some breath. You know?
Does it smell? It has to
It's
smell.
like warm. It doesn't really, camels, I find they don't smell like disgusting the way that some farm animals smell.
Okay. Yeah.
And their breath smelled, I don't know, it was just warm. I don't know. It didn't smell like anything in particular.
Right.
But it was like a beautiful thing by the end. I was like, breathe onto me again, Shion.
Well, now that if I ever meet a camel, or if any of us meet a camel,
not to offend the camel, because they will then, they can do it like a roundhouse kick. That's the big threat, is that if they want to kick you,
they have like this double.
They have these fucking whack ass hips, man. Like that. Those things are agile.
Hips that'll kill.
Yeah, those hips don't lie.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's so cool.
It was a hell of a time.
And you're gonna go back?
I would like to go back. 2 of the camels are pregnant, so
yes.
I would love to be there when they are ready to birth.
Yeah. If I was in Texas for any longer with you, I maybe would have taken the drive to
Waco or to Valley Mills
to meet the camels, but I was only there for a few days.
Yeah, so. It would have been. I mean, it would have been insane. It was like 3 hours or something, like 2 hours.
I guess so. I don't know.
Too long to be
to
be coming and going.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah,
but I had a great time with you in Texas. It was so
Austin
fun.
was great. It was really cool.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
It was definitely really cool.
You say you want to go back to Austin, right?
I do want to go back to Austin. Okay. Yeah, it was. I want to go back for a longer period of time. Yeah. I want to do more comedy when I was there. I think like in general, I want to expose myself to different scenes more.
Sure.
So like maybe before going back for longer there, I would go to like other cities because like the scene was it felt very different yet the same.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's a lot going on.
It was a
nice.
lot. There was a lot going on. Like, and the scene seemed very saturated. Like so many comedians.
Yeah, sure.
But then again, there was like just so many shows happening. So,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it was a fun vibe.
It was.
I'd like to go back to Nashville. I think I have no idea about the comedy scene there, but
Yeah, I have no
it's
idea.
a fun city. We should go there.
Okay, we can drive there.
We can drive there. Actually,
It's not that far, right? Well, it is.
Well, like 25 hours or something.
Oh,
I actually don't know from here.
okay.
I don't know. It's not that close, but
Okay.
But it's
Because
you
for some
can't- I
reason in
drove,
my
so you can
memory,
drive.
you like drove from here straight to Nashville, but like I like geography.
I
in
drove
me.
from here to Toronto.
Oh right.
From Toronto to Ohio, then to
Oh.
Kentucky and like Indiana and stuff,
Okay.
and then
Oh,
to Tennessee.
okay.
So it was
Okay.
it took a few days to get to Tennessee.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I would love to go. I mean, how long did you stay in Nashville?
3 nights or something, not that
Okay.
long, but it was
Yeah.
one of my favorite parts of the trip. It was so good.
Oh, cool.
Oh, I loved
Cool.
it there. Good
I think my
times.
parents went to Nashville. Anyways.
Yeah, I want to spend more
Yeah.
time in Tennessee.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm gonna get back to some. And every episode, I
Yeah.
have a couple questions that I'm always gonna ask the guest.
Okay.
And one of the first question I'm gonna ask is, what is your deepest passion in life?
Drugs. I fucking love drugs.
we do. I mean, drugs are good.
They're actually not good.
They're not good, but they're
Don't do drugs.
But they're good.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of. I don't care about anything. This is maybe like a bit of a sidestep answer, but
Yeah.
when I was on my road trip, I had a lot of time to think about things.
Yes.
And a lot of time to kind of realize what mattered to me and like, you know, what am I missing? What am I not missing? What am I hoping to, you know, get back to and or whatever. Just, you know, I had a lot of time to think about what my life was and what I
Yeah.
wanted it to be.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is not really a straight answer, but it's like there's an answer in there.
Yeah.
I think it's just my friends, like, and the people that I love. Like, I think that's the only thing that I care about.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm passionate about my friends, but
But-
I would say like the main thing that matters to me is just the people in my life.
Oh,
More so than any
absolutely.
like activity or any. I don't care what we're doing, where we are, or whatever's going
Yeah,
on. Like, I think
yeah.
that's
That's
kind
a
of
really
it.
good answer.
Oh,
And
well.
it's no, it's a really good answer. And I see that in you. Like, as I am a very good friend of yours.
Yes,
I'm
one of my best friends.
Yeah, like you're one of my best friends, and like you care so deeply, and you make us a priority. You make
Yeah.
me a priority. Where
Yeah.
like, I mean, sometimes having friends is exhausting, but like it's.
I think I may have
Yeah.
told you this. This is I mean, you know, Quinn.
Yeah.
I had a party last winter, and we all did MDMA, as you know.
Classic.
And I met somebody at the party who I didn't like, which was Quinn's roommate at the time. And then Quinn and I talked about this months later,
Yeah.
and I was like, yeah, I really don't like that guy. And he was like, weren't you on MDMA? And I was like, yeah, but I really don't like him. And then he was like, Michelle Dominique, when she hates, she hates. So
It's
in a way, I'm passionate about people on both
Yes. Yeah. And I feel like from like maybe one of our first exchanges,
Yeah.
I was like, I need to be friends with
Oh.
you. I don't know
Yeah.
why, and I can't.
Yeah,
Pinpoint-
you chose me.
I mean, it's just you're such a great person, and I was
Oh,
like,
stop.
I don't know. There was such an energy about you that I was just like, I don't know how.
Yeah.
I don't know why. But like, I need to be connected.
Aw, and here we are.
Yeah, yeah. And I think when we started Comedy on Demand together,
Yeah.
we cross paths almost every week
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, I remember like thinking like I trust her to do this. But we weren't like as close as we are now.
Yeah,
for
we
sure.
got this was for sure.
Yeah,
the thing
yeah.
that
But like, I
bonded us.
trusted you to like take this
Yeah.
like adventure
Yeah,
with me.
I felt like immediately like goes to the right fit. You know?
Yeah, and I remember like in the first few weeks of like starting like Lawn Laughs or whatever, you're like, why don't we hang out more? Yeah, you actually said that. Like, why haven't we hung out more? Like in the past.
Yeah, it was odd because we had never gotten to be friends, even though we were in the same.
Yeah.
Like we were friendly. We were friends, in a way, but we'd never, it had never.
I
gotten
think
to
a couple
point where-
months or like 6 months. No,
Yeah.
it was longer than that. Maybe like a year before, like
we were at Hurley's.
Comedy on Demand. You messaged me. You're like, "Oh, you're going to the Loft tonight?"
Okay.
And I was in my apartment. And I just ate so much pad thai, and I was like, "It was classic."
Why
and
would
I was
I
just like,
ask
"I
you
really
that?
want to go hang out with Michelle, but I just ate so much pad thai, and I cannot move
Yeah.
at all."
Why would I have asked you if you were going? Because I wanted to go with you.
Yeah, and
Okay.
you wanted to go with me, and I
Wow,
was like, "Oh my
yeah.
god, I'm missing my opportunity because I fucking ordered from Soba Sushi."
Soba's so good though.
Oh my god!
I
so
remember a
good.
conversation. This is one of my first memories of you. Is in Hurley's upstairs when we did the show,
Okay.
and then I started telling you that I bought those hockey tickets for me and Spencer.
Oh my god! Yes.
Oh man, and I bought hockey tickets for Spencer and I because I told him that we could go to a hockey
Yeah.
game together.
Yeah.
But I was supposed to get them for free because my dad knows a guy, whatever, and then it didn't work out. So I ended up spending like $500 on hockey tickets, and I told Spencer that they had been free so that I didn't freak him out because I spent $500 on the hockey game.
You told me about the spending of the $500,
Yeah, that was
and
awesome,
like,
man.
and I was
Good
like,
game.
"You are insane! You are insane!"
Passion, that's my passion.
Yeah, your passion is your friendship.
Yeah, exactly. I told him later. He was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
It's so much money. I
It was,
remember just
yeah.
like gasping. I was like,
Yeah.
"Holy! I wouldn't even do that for you now." And I
Don't worry.
and I love you so much. I would be
But you
like,
would never buy
"Hey,
me hockey tickets."
these tickets aren't free anymore, so fuck it." Like, I don't know.
I'm happy we went. It was actually a very okay night. It was not a special night at all.
Okay,
It was not a $500 night. I'll tell you that.
definitely. It was no. Okay, let's clarify. $500 a ticket. So you
Was
paid
it? No.
$1,000.
I don't think it was $1,000. I don't think so. I don't know, but I don't think that.
I'm
I don't
pretty
think
sure it was
so.
$1,000.
I could check the receipts, but I don't know. That would be pushing my limits, I think. But 500 would be well within my limits.
I mean, 500 is still extreme, but I feel like I
I don't
remember
remember.
being
I'd
like,
have to check. I don't know. I don't want to. I don't look back. That's my toxic trait. The past is in the past.
the past is in the past. All right. My next question
Yeah.
would be, what is the hardest thing you've ever been through?
Oh no, this.
This is like it's how the podcast is called House of Stone.
Yeah.
I think it goes with the theme. We talk about the
Sure.
nitty gritty and how we get past it.
I mean, two things come to mind. Two, I think, obvious things come to mind. One is I had like a huge drug problem for like a year, or like a
Yeah.
year. I still have a drug problem. No, I don't have a drug problem now.
Yeah.
But I had like a huge cocaine thing for. In 2017, like to the point that I'd be doing it all day, every day,
Yeah.
like for months, and like I was awake for 8 days one time, and I had like full psychotic episodes because of that. So
Oh no.
really like intense
Okay.
shit,
Yeah.
and I ruined my entire life. In like I did it for the first time, like cocaine, in July of 2017, and by December, everyone hated me. I had $40,000 of debt. And I was high all the time, and I had lost my fucking mind.
Wow.
Like one time, okay, well, I'm not gonna get into that. Actually, it's too gruesome, but
Okay.
but yeah, that was probably the hardest thing.
Yeah. No kidding.
It's pretty intense.
Yeah, that is a very, very
yeah,
hard thing to go
it
through,
was
and that's
intense.
quick too.
It was quick, so it was like
Yeah.
very intense, very 0 to 100, and then
And this-
now it's it's different than it was.
and that's
obviously.
when like sorry, repeat what you just said. And
Oh, just like it's
Yeah.
I don't consider myself to be even remotely in the
Okay.
same. Even this trip actually, I feel like has kind of set the past really in the past for me.
yeah,
Like for the first time, I don't feel as associated with that
Okay.
time in my life. Like it is, it's a closed chapter
yeah,
entirely. So
yeah, for sure. And that was like right after that. That's when you started to do
Yeah,
stand
to
up,
do
right? You got
stand-up.
away from like
it would have
that.
been summer of 2018, right? So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. All right. all
yeah.
right.
And then the other thing would have, it'd be Andrew, I guess.
yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't know how much we need to talk about that, but
we don't we don't need to talk about it.
Yeah, we won't,
But
then that's fine.
can I to listeners who Andrew
yeah,
is?
please explain.
Yeah. So
Explain who Andrew is.
yeah, so Andrew Albert was a stand-up comedian that we worked with and we were friends with, and he passed away last summer. So
Yeah.
that was a very hard thing.
That was
It
a
still
shock.
is hard.
Can't
Yeah,
believe
yeah.
that.
What are the things that helped you through both like the drug?
Oh man, the drugs thing is like such an intense. I don't know what helped me. I think a lot of people, you can't hold it against them, but no one is there for you.
Yeah.
So you really have to kind of get your shit together on your own, which is it's nobody's fault, but
Yeah.
but it's definitely like
Especially
you become kind of hard to other people, or you become kind of independent in a way that's like dysfunctional or to a fault. So even now I'm like, I know there are things that like I freak out about or that I don't want anybody's help with because I don't want to rely on people who I don't consider to be reliable.
Because it could be
You
disappointing.
don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So if I don't have it set up in a way that I can do alone, then I don't fucking know what's going to happen. I don't really know. I think probably starting comedy and kind of getting back into like, that was when I rebuilt a social circle after having destroyed, all the people that I knew and loved for years. No friendships that remain from that except for Jeff Catan. God bless that man. But so I think comedy helped in the sense that it was like, you have to find your footing out in the world again. And there's a structure there. Yeah. And socially it was like, okay, like, these are new people that I can meet and I can like rebuild and just be better this time essentially. So that's probably the main thing that helped with that.
Yeah. And I mean, it's hard, like, especially if you go through something like addiction. Yeah. Everyone's addiction journey like is different. Yeah. And at the same time, a lot of people that haven't gone through that type of addiction, like or any type of addiction, they can't really relate. It's just like
it's very isolating.
Yeah, it's so isolating. And like when you're at a point where it's like you need help, like it's hard to, you've like kind of burned bridges and you're just like,
my God, you're alone, totally alone.
Yeah, so like just reaching out to making new connections, I guess. Is,
you gotta find re-enter the world in a way, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, those are my questions, and now I don't know how to wrap up the episode because I am
goodbye, and then just cut.
Yeah, we like we're finishing it on like a somber, but that's okay. That's okay.
That's totally fine.
I mean, I asked those questions at the end, anyways. But this has been awesome.
Yeah,
I feel like
thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, I loved having you for episode 1
and 2 and 3.
Every single one.
It's just me and you now.
Just you.
House of Stone and also Michelle.
we can put your head somewhere.
Put my face in the corner.
Yeah, it was like, it's great. I feel like I was less crazy this time and more.
I feel good.
Yeah, it was really fun. Sure. So yeah, this has been House of Stone. I want to thank our sponsors and funders. I want to thank our studio space here from Pentalis. I want to thank the person on the 1 and 2s, Zach Kick. Fernando, that is our social media manager, and I want to thank the listeners. The one day there's gonna be we're gonna thank Taryn, our friend. Thank you, Taryn, and everyone else that she has recruited to like and follow all of the platforms. So yeah, subscribe, like, listen, and thanks for being here.
Thank you.
That's it.